Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing and Trading Live. As always, I am your host, Josh Lilquist. Today is Tuesday, October 10th. It is about 9:18 in the a.m., about just under an hour after the opening bell. Now, what we're seeing here today is some more market resiliency. The market just will not, it just shrugs off anything, any news, whatever that may be. Major indexes are up on the day. We'll peek at those as we begin the show with the Russell leading the charge. We'll take a look at Target as one of our stock outliers of the day. We will look at American Airlines. There were some options on those yesterday that were showing some pretty good premium for those options traders and investors. Also, I think there was another one. Nvidia or Turtle Beach is up about 2%. Tilray's up about 6% today as well. So that's some of the things that we're going to discuss here on the show. Is the market resiliency and a market update. Later on, I'll bring Troy on the show. He's going to discuss some different options opportunities that he's looking at, and we will close at the show probably shortly after that. We'll look at some currency pairs as well. We have a few different opportunities that we're waiting on in the currency market. Oh, also, I want to discuss real quick sometime in the show correlations in the show as well. So that being said, there is risk in trading and investing. You can and will lose money at one point in your life. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, mainly mine, but hopefully you find it entertaining as well. That being said, do your own thing. That's not my responsibility. That's an easy way to say it. S&P 500, currently at 434.80. Looking like the market gapped up ever so slightly. It opened up right about at the highs of yesterday. By the way, yesterday was a nice day, starting the day at 427.62, closing at 432.08. This is the S&P 500 ETF SPY. Currently up about 0.57% on the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 0.47% on the day, which is at 337.71. Market opened up much higher than the close yesterday. Showed weakness right away out of the open, but is really, as of right now, at the highs of the day. I don't see anything on a longer-term chart to stop that upcharge. There's a few supply zones overhead. I do like a couple up there, more so up to the 341.43 area on a shorter-term time frame. So we will see what happens with those. I do like that one, actually, because that's what broke the uptrend back earlier this month, actually the end of September. That's the Dow Jones. The NASDAQ currently up 0.55% on the day, which we're looking at the Qs, currently at 368.60. Same thing as the S&P 500, opened up right about almost the highs of yesterday, and then really almost at the highs currently as we speak. So this one's showing some pretty good strength as we get in there. The IWM, which is the Russell, is leading the charge, currently up 1.33%, currently at 176.32. And this one opened up, same thing, right at the highs, did not show any bearish pressure. I don't see any trades lower. There might have been one trade lower. And we are currently at the high of the day. So markets are surging here today as we get into these. Those some of your stocks?
A couple of Airbnb,
okay.
SMCI.
Perfect. So as I mentioned in the beginning and in the title, I am bringing on Troy on the show here today to discuss a few different stock opportunities, potentially some options. And we will just look at these and do some analysis for entertainment purposes, and we will do that. So how are you doing today, Troy?
Things are well.
It's glad to have you on the show.
The market's crazy. So it's
crazy good, right?
Crazy good.
It's always crazy good.
Bouncing off of a supply or demand zone from SPY a couple days ago. So we're seeing some good strength here. It's just trying to find if we can get into something. That's going to be our goal here. We might need a little bit of a pullback, but there are some things that we might be able to get into, but just see if the market can cooperate with us.
Perfect. So you got a couple stocks you wanted to look at. One being looks like Airbnb.
Airbnb.
So I'm going to pull up Airbnb on the chart. Hopefully you can see that there, Troy. Is it better if I put it on this chart here?
I can see it. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to look at Airbnb here. Here, why don't we do this? Make it easy. Just put this over here and turn the screen. Airbnb, which is ticker symbol
ABNB.
ABNB. I know I have that on here somewhere, right here. So current price of Airbnb is at $130.22. Right here I have a daily chart on the left, top right 4 hour, and on the bottom right I have a 1 hour chart. Now, I know you like to do a lot of options trading and investing. Are you talking about just buying stock and selling stock here, or are you looking at options right now?
We could look at both. It is long term kind of downtrend, but we do have this corrective uptrend right now that we might be able to take advantage of until we get into a better selling zone.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm looking for is maybe a pullback down into the 126, 125 area. I'm not sure if we'll get it, but if we can get something there, we might be able to take this corrective uptrend, up maybe $10. And
you talking about a smaller time frame than a 1 hour?
Yeah. Maybe we're looking at like a 30-minute, a 15-minute.
Let's look at the 15 and see what that looks like. Okay. So you're talking about right there, that's demand
correct. Zone
right there at the 126 area, 125 and change area. So what Troy is talking about is it's in a longer term downtrend because we have a high of 155 back in July. We had a low of 123. Then a lower high of 150, and then just barely a lower low of 121. Now it's retracing back up, and he likes this potential demand zone back at the 125, 126 area. Now, there's ways to just buy the stock. Obviously, you buy, say somebody wants to, so stock price is at let's say at 125 is where you wanted to get in. And say an investor or trader wants to buy, say just only 100 shares. They need about $12,500 to do that. Now, you probably do a lot of options on that because you can be a lot more efficient with your capital, right?
Correct.
Explain why it's important to understand how to use leverage in the markets with options so you don't have to tie up all your capital.
Yeah, so if you want to buy, like Josh was saying, 100 shares at $125, let's just even number, that's $12,000. If I look at the option chain here, and let's just say I want to control 100 shares at the $125 price, I could buy a call option, and right now it's going to cost $1,550, we'll say, so $1,550. So what I'm doing is just being way more efficient with what capital I'm using, and I'm controlling $125 price. I'm controlling 100 shares at $125. It's only costing me $1,550. So basically, a little bit less than 1/10. We'll say 1/10 for just to be rounded. We'll round it up. So it's about 1/10 of the price to control the same amount of shares.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to, with my account size, I don't like to tie up $12,000 in one trade. So it makes more sense for me to look at the options, whether I'm going to buy a call or if I'll maybe call spread, depending on the volatility. But you get way better leverage, way better capital efficiency by doing option plays on it.
Yeah, and that's just a much smarter business decision too, because if you can use less capital to do the same amount of shares, now you have opportunities to allocate that other capital in other places with other options plays, or maybe even buying stock if you wanted to. So it just lets you do more with less. So I like that. That was Airbnb. You had another
Airbnb.
stock.
There's another one, SMCI.
SMCI, what's that?
It's a semiconductor.
Okay.
And it's a
super microcomputer.
That's what it is.
That must be a small computer.
And
no pun intended.
They're a little bit pricier stock. They're in the $200 range.
Actually, $314.
Oh, $314 now. Yeah, so they actually been ripping up, and today they're up $15 or so, or from yesterday.
Yeah, currently up 8% on the day.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking for another pullback. So this won't be anything we'll be able to get into today, but just something I like to set alerts and wait for it to come back to. So
I want to stop you there for a second. I think that's important for our listeners to understand. He mentioned that this may not be something for us to get in today. So a lot of traders and investors just go and buy a stock just because it's something that's in the news. Why is it so important to wait for your price?
It's important to wait for your price. You want to buy this thing at a discount, right? And because it moved up so fast, so quickly, we already missed that move. And so instead of jumping on the train and catching it and then having it come back down on you, it's more important to be patient and wait for your price. One of the guys I learned from, he said that we are actually considered professional waiters, and so you're just waiting for that price to come back to where you want to buy it. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to jump in. The price move already happened. You jump in late, and all the time everything seems to go right down right when you jump in. So that happened to me when I was starting off. I saw a good move, and then I would just jump in, and then you get ripped right back into your face. So you learn just to be patient, learn to find your zones, and then just trust your process, and just wait. You can't get into every trade in the next 5 minutes.
Yep. So
find a good opportunity where it looks like the buyers are waiting down there, and then jump on it with them. Mm-hmm. And that's just more that's what the professionals do. They don't chase price, and we don't want to chase price either.
Well, that's why you want to trade just like a professional would. I mean, we don't have to be a hedge fund manager or work for a big bank to trade like one. And that's one of the things that you mentioned. You learn from somebody else. I mean, they don't teach trading and investing in school. It's very difficult to learn or to build a skill off watching the University of YouTube, which is a bunch of crap out there anyways. And I like how you mentioned you're a professional waiter, and not like a waiter like a server, but waiting for the next opportunity. You are patient in the market. Yeah. So I like that. So that's super microconductors or computers. Very, very small computers, let's call it, to be short. So you have a couple more stocks you want to look at?
Well, we can look at Target.
Hey, this is exactly what I want to talk about. I want to see your opinion on this before I tell. We've been talking about Target a lot for the past about 2 months here. Now, what is your opinion on this? Because I hope it doesn't contradict with mine. It might. You never know. But let's hear what you got to say.
The good thing about trading is somebody can be shorting it and somebody can be going long at the same time, and you can both be right.
Okay.
So I think looking at this, I would like it to rally up to a position maybe to like the 124 area. Okay. And then I would try to maybe go short again up there. But there is a little shorting opportunity right now, but it just looks like it's moved down too far, where in the past people might want to take this and then you get stopped out. But I would rather wait for a better opportunity for it to go up to 124. So with that being said, if you can find a smaller time frame uptrend, you might be able to get on it and take it to the 124, and then at 124, that's where I would be looking to short this thing again and see what we can do with it.
God, I like that analysis, and that's one good thing about you said at the beginning is everybody's going to have a different opinion on the market. Now, we've been talking about Target, I guess mentioned, for probably, I think it's been since July. And there were some good opportunities. Target actually, we've been waiting for this demand zone. And as Troy said earlier, professional waiter, waiting for this demand zone between the 100, 110 area for a couple months. And by the time it got down there, volatility had peaked a little bit. So it was offering a little bit of premium. So we talked about those $105 strikes with options. It was giving some pretty good premium. So current price is at 110 now. This is having a big day here. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it. I would say it's supply and demand at its finest, but it is up 4.5% on the day, which those $105 strikes are looking pretty good. For those of the people that did get in that. I mean, we're not giving any investment advice. That's just too late now, obviously, but that was showing a good opportunity there. Now, that being said, it still can go back in the other direction, and that's why you have proper risk management in place to protect your positions. That way, it doesn't matter what it's going to do, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, then you just move on to the next one. So those 105 strikes are looking pretty good. We got right below that. Price actually got down all the way to about the lows of 103 even. Good thing nothing was exercised there, but that options opportunity is looking pretty good as we speak right now. So I like that analysis. Thanks for that, Troy, on target. I'm glad you brought that up because that was one that I did want to talk about. Any other household names that you got?
We can look at... I haven't looked at it today, but might as well take a look at Tesla. Everyone seems to be...
Tesla. Everybody wants to get into Tesla. I see a lot of people. I know a couple people that, will say don't have a ton of money, and they're always trying to buy these high-flying stocks. All right. Tesla's up 2.93% on the day, looking really good. What's your thought?
What I've noticed on Tesla in the last couple months is when it starts trending, let's say it's a trending day, the demand zones or supply zones, depending if it's trending up or down, seem to be pretty good on like a 15-minute chart. If it's not trending, it's just kind of going sideways, then it's kind of a little bit tougher to trade. But if you get a trending day in Tesla, you hit those rally-based rallies or drop-based drops, they seem to hold up pretty well, and you can day trade this pretty good. But let's look at it today. What are we at here?
Currently at 267.10. Here's the daily chart right here.
Oh, yeah, kind of. I don't know, not the best looking daily chart trend wise.
It's not. It's pretty choppy.
Yeah,
and after a big move, it's just been it started a downtrend though.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I was looking at the was it 280 area for a short a couple weeks ago, and it looks like it came close to that and it fell away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's probably going to. We'll see what it does, but it looks like it might trend back up, maybe to that 280 area. But as for a chart looking trade on like the daily, it's kind of just chopping around. It's not as good. So maybe we can find like a lower time frame, 30-minute or an hour, and see if there's anything worth setting a trade up on.
Mm-hmm. Let's go down to the 30-minute and see what happens on this chart here. Nothing really that jumps out to me.
Yeah, so Tesla might be one today where it's just kind of hanging out and consolidating and moving sideways. So
yep. So basically, move on to the next one.
I would want to do with it.
One of the things that I learned early on in my career is if you have to squint to see it, it's not there.
No. So not a trending day on Tesla today, as of now.
Yep. I got a stock here for you, Troy. American Airlines.
Ooh.
This one here. Showing a big drop from the highs back of July, $18, currently at $12, down about 33%. What is your thought with American Airlines?
Well, if I was going to be open with you, I'm currently in a position short on Delta. So,
okay.
So I would like to see this thing drop a little bit farther. Maybe get down to some new lows, and then see if there's a rally that forms off of that. I'm kind of a little bit slower of getting into like when big moves happen. Let's say on this one it's going down,
mm-hmm.
And you think you want to buy it. Like I'm more of a wait and see, wait until the buyers come in and show you a reversal pattern. And
more of a confirmation type thing?
Jump on it, yeah.
I like that.
Because, I mean, it's super low now, but it's like how much lower can it go? I mean, it could go lower. Maybe it can go below those wicks down there. I don't know. I mean, if it gets down to $10, then it looks like a lot of people might start buying it again.
Yep. One of the things that I was talking about yesterday on the show is American Airlines, and I did not get the opportunity to get in this, was giving some pretty good premium. The volatility has been spiking up. It's in a 4 in the IV gauge, and it was given a percent at the 9.5s for 30 days yesterday. So which is pretty cool because it was out of the money, which means it's away about 22%. So basically what that means is the strategy I'm talking about is doing cash secured puts is it would need to drop another 22% to actually get filled in the next 30 days. That's a pretty big drop.
I like that.
So it was actually given some pretty good premium. Unfortunately, I did not get that. It's still offering about 1% at $10, which is not the end of the world, because one of the things that you want to search for is a demand zone around that price. Hopefully, you can get the demand zone and the strike price lower. But we have a pretty textbook rally-based rally around the 10.17, 9.50 area from May of 2020. So I do like this trade. So for those anybody that are looking at that, make sure you do your own risk on that. It's not my advice. This is just my opinion and entertainment. Hopefully you find it entertaining.
Yeah, and this is a $10 stock, $11 stock.
Yep.
So you'll have to put up $1,100, $1,200 for that cash secured put. On some of the bigger stocks, if you can't afford to buy 100 shares of it, you can always sell a put and then buy a put for protection for like a credit spread, and you'll get a little less premium, but you won't have to put up as much capital in case you get put to shares. You're protected. So that could be for this one. Doesn't look too bad though, but
I like that. That's a really good strategy. Matter of fact, I mean, on a $10 stock, that's something that you're going to want to, that a lot of investors would probably do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 contracts on that to be able to get some okay premium, I guess.
And I always look at, if I'm selling a cash secured put, it better be on a company that I'm okay owning.
Exactly.
Long term. It's not going to be just some meme stock one.
Yep. Especially in American Airlines is probably not going to be going anywhere.
No. That looks.
You wouldn't think anyway. So that's American Airlines. Do you have any others you want to discuss?
Well, let's
do one more.
I'm just looking at the broad market. I mean, it's ripping up. So it might be coming. Like, I don't know. We can look at SPY. Might be wanting to go a little bit higher.
I looked at that earlier.
Yeah.
There's nothing really on a daily chart. You do have a 4-hour supply zone, but that's not until 442, 444 area.
So I'm seeing like, hey, if the market wants to rally, is there? I mean, a lot of these stocks we already missed the big move, so we need some type of a retracement to get in. And so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can look at. Well, we look at the airlines, so maybe we can look at cruise lines. RCL is a Royal Caribbean. They always seem to pay good premium on their options.
Okay, so
But it's a downtrend. Maybe it's coming back into something.
RCL. I can't get that on my chart right now. But RCL is currently at $90.
Yeah, unless it's going to come back. I mean, it
you
is
need a strike somewhere down in the 70s.
Yeah, if we want to buy it, I mean, we might be able to get on this put. If you want to take this thing short, maybe somewhere up on that. Was that 93, 94? I'm just eyeballing it real quick. So it does look like it's coming down on the long term.
It's in a downtrend, definitely, and I don't see it on the longer term trend. I don't see that slowing down.
Yeah. So I think if you're short on this, great. If not, maybe we can wait for this thing up to 93, 94, somewhere up there, and then you might be able to target down, to the $80 range. So it could look like something that you could play short, but again, we just have to be patient and wait for this price to come up a little bit higher to a good zone for us. Yeah.
One more thing before we end the show. I want to talk a little bit about correlations. Do you use correlations in any of your trading or investing strategies?
Not too much. I try to look at what the general market is doing, and find the stocks that are if the market's going up, see if I can get on it. If it looks weak, then I'm going to start trying to flip my positions and go short with it. But I don't. I mean, I look at the dollar, but I don't necessarily say dollar's up, gold's this way. I just kind of they're in the back of my mind, but they're not like number one indicator that I use.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the dollar does kind of run the market. And, typical correlations, if the dollar's up, the major markets are going to probably be down. Say you have, say bond yields are down, the market should typically be up. So there's going to be inverse correlations with stuff like that. That being said, you look at the dollar and gold today are both down. So they're historically inversely correlated, but then again, it's not going to happen or be like that perfect every time. So that's one of the great things about the markets is you will learn something every single day. Things will continue to change. That's why you need to always have proper capital management, proper risk management on every single trade that you have. That way you have longevity in the financial markets. Thank you, Troy, for coming on the show. Appreciate the insight. It's nice having you on. We're going to definitely have to do this again. Tomorrow we're going to do another show. We'll do a market update first thing. We'll get into all the major markets. We'll look at gold, silver, oil. Before you head out, I want to just look at oil real quick. It's actually down today after the big gap up yesterday and major move yesterday, which was Monday, but down about 1.37%. That being said, as always, collect your profits when they are given to you and protect your losses, keeping them small. Until next time, retire young, my friends.